Hi, everyone, and welcome to Southbridge Community Television, and I'm your host, Max Gullekson. And today I'm here with Mr. Dick Whitney and Dr. Ronna Krozy. Hi, Dick, and hi, Ronna.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Good to see you.
Good.
And we're here to talk about a very interesting subject, and it's nudism as a recreational way of life. Now, Dick and Ronna, I'm going to assume that you're active nudists.
Absolutely.
That's so interesting to know that. And this is a way of life that you've adopted, and you enjoy this lifestyle.
Absolutely.
So before I get to hear about it, and my audience gets to hear about this, because this is really interesting. Recently, Dick, we had a video submitted to us here on Southbridge Community Television, and we'll take them all, and it was a video, and it was critical of you and the political activities that you've been involved with, which is probably fair game for a video. But it also sort of called you out for your nudist lifestyle, and it had nothing to do really with your political activities. And as a viewer, I thought it was probably maybe unfair is the word I'm looking for. But Dick, how do you feel how did that make you feel?
I was actually quite amused.
Were you? Yeah.
Thank Mike Marchetti, who did it twice, actually, 5 years ago and more recently. A little sad, but I thought this is an opportunity because I love the nudist lifestyle. I was never hiding it. So in fact, what was shown was a video clip of Ron and I when we went on Hartford TV and talked about it with our names being promoted. So it's nothing I'm hiding. And quite honestly, thanks, because it really gave me the idea of doing this session today. So I'm grateful.
You don't seem to, you're not ashamed.
No, not ashamed, because there's nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll tell you more about how I got involved, but it's one of the best decisions I made in my life.
All right, very good then. Ronna, you are heavily involved with the AANR, which is a body for nudist recreation. What can you tell me about that and what your role is with that?
Certainly. The American Association for Nude Recreation, which we call ANR, is the oldest organization that represents nudism, nude recreation, and helps to protect the rights of nudists. And it's really important to do that because, and we'll talk more at length later, but many people are afraid to come out as nudists.
It's nationwide, the AANR, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Coast to coast.
Absolutely.
How many, just a guess, how many people are active nudists in America?
Oh, well, there are many more active nudists, skinny dippers, than there are members. And there are a couple of organizations. There's the Nature Society and ANR. ANR's been around for over 80 years. We have about 35,000 members. But there are many, many more people who enjoy nude recreation but are not card carriers.
There's resorts.
Oh, my goodness. In the United States, there's well over 200. And worldwide, there's an international...
It's not just an American thing.
Gosh, no. And we represent Canada and Mexico as well, so we consider ourselves
The
international.
AANR is also with Canada, Mexico, and the United States.
Yes.
Now, your doctorate, what's your doctorate?
I have a doctorate in health education. I was a professor of nursing, and in order to keep my job, I had to have a doctorate. And health education is very close to community nursing, and that's what I did.
Oh, I see. Very good. Now, Ronna, I'm going to call you Ronna. I'm not going to call you Dr.
absolutely.
Ronna, now, I don't know if this is a sexist question, but as a woman, I in my mind, and I don't know a whole lot about the whole lifestyle, but it seems as though maybe as a woman it'd be harder to come there alone. Like, do you find women go more in groups with their husband or their partner, and men, do they go alone? Do they come with a partner? Do they come in any configuration that is curious about the lifestyle?
All configurations.
Yeah.
Actually, there are women who come alone. There are women who come as couple with a husband. Same thing with men. We find occasionally that more husbands come and their wives are reticent because they don't understand what it is about. And for women, as you can imagine, we live in a world where women are held up for certain role models and
different expectations for the
absolutely,
genders. Sure.
And it makes people feel that they don't measure up.
Yes. So, earlier you were telling me the story, because you write also for
I do
publication.
Indeed. I do
and you
indeed.
wrote a story about, and a funny one about how you actually talked your husband into going.
I do have this here,
Yeah.
and this is for the Bulletin. The Bulletin is our American Association for Nude Recreation magazine, and it was called How I Corrupted My Husband, but that's in big quotations.
Yeah.
Because I was a nudist before he was.
Yeah.
And when we were getting serious, I said, there's one thing missing. I'm a nudist, and I miss the friends and the life that I
Yeah.
had. And thankfully, he said it wouldn't be a problem.
And him being a good husband, he said yeah.
He said yeah, and it was never a problem for him.
terrific.
And now he is probably a better advocate than I am.
Wow.
So,
Wow. Dick, how long have you been involved in that?
Started 24 years ago.
24 years?
And do you want me to get into it?
How'd you get started?
Well, actually, we walked on the beach in Martha's Vineyard, my family and I, and my mother. We were walking as a family, and we said, well, we walked the nude beach. We didn't get naked, but I came back. I grew up in Southbridge, and not knowing that the premier nudist resort is Solair in Woodstock. I didn't know its name, I didn't know its location, but I looked it up. We joined actually Sun Chasers Travel Club, which is another one, and my parents joined Solair. We got them involved, and my children also at the time were teenagers, which is a difficult time to introduce them, and I didn't push it on them, but I said, this is what we're doing, and they joined.
Yeah.
So we had a family, and as my father, for the last 4 years of his life, he was dying from leukemia. As he was dying, he enjoyed going to camp so much. And one of my fondest recollections, when he died, we had our service at Elm Street, and of the 100 people in the congregation, probably a third to a half of them were from camp.
Wow, his new friends.
And they were all new friends, and that's one thing, we have lifelong friends. My mother, when she was elderly, people from camp would look in on her, so we made friends.
So, I mean, the nudism is just like part of the
Part of it.
experience. You're also doing things. I mean, what do you, like recreation activities at a resort? What kind of
Oh,
activities, Doc?
goodness, we have shuffleboard, pickleball, tennis, beautiful, beautiful pool. It's heated by
Heated outdoor Olympic
solar.
size.
It's solar heated, so we're very ecologically.
They seem to go hand in hand. I
Oh,
mean, listen to the preconceptions. but
Canoeing,
it's
boating.
like nudism and holistic living. and
Absolutely,
kind of-
absolutely.
Camping.
That was
Yeah.
actually the root. When
it?
we called it naturism. There is another term, naturist and nudist, but the original, as they say, tree huggers.
Woodstock.
Yes, exactly, exactly. It was healthy living. It was being in the sun and the wind and on your
In a
body,
non-judgmental kind.
non-judgmental. Absolutely.
The
It's-
AANR people can join that. Now, if you joined it, is there benefits like staying in other resorts throughout America? Or is it,
Oh, absolutely. You get discounts. And wherever you travel. The most important benefit, I think, is that it supports our cause. And because we still have problems with feeling free in
Yeah.
society coming out,
Interesting.
we're afraid, so many people are afraid they're going to lose their job, that there's going
why?
to be...
Because somebody finds out that they.
Precisely, because they don't understand that
Yeah.
it's not about whether you wear clothing or not. It's about who you are as a person. It's about being a moral, law-abiding citizen. Nudists are a microcosm of society. We have doctors and nurses and ministers. We have truck drivers, et cetera, et cetera.
It would just happen to be nudist.
And this is the conjoining factor, if you will. We have lots of kids, and it is probably one of the safest places to bring your children because you have parents and grandparents and members who are looking out for each other, looking out for children, and making sure that all of us are safe and
Dick
comfortable.
said his whole family. It's like
Yeah.
a family environment.
And you have an interview process to be sure. I feel
you
really
screen
safe.
people then.
You screen
You
them.
Absolutely.
do. Okay. So I mean, you can't just show up and sign up. And
No,
do
in
it.
fact,
No.
when you were talking about men, they might be looked at a little differently only because single men coming. There are some that think of what it's not, but very quickly, when you interview somebody, you
find
know
out,
why they're
yeah,
there.
what their motivation
And-
might be.
Right.
And I feel very safe there.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah.
My grandchildren come,
Do they? Yeah.
and they're 3 guys in their 20s.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you're in the pool,
Yeah.
what's the difference?
yeah.
Well, this is really interesting. I mean, I've lived in Southbridge for 30 years, and I've sort of known that at the end of Alpine Drive, there's a colony. I keep saying
excuse
that. I'm
me?
sorry.
Which
the
is not-
bad
we don't call
word.
it a colony.
I might terrify.
Resort.
Yeah, there's a resort.
Which
where
it
people
is.
go
It's a
for
campground.
resort activities.
It's a
Who just happen
campground.
to be nude.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you want to go camping, it's wonderful.
Yeah,
It's-
you can
it's
camp up there. And
incredible.
it's in the woods too, probably.
But there are
away from-
also rentals you can rent.
We have rentals. We have
like cabins and stuff.
We have
Oh, I
cabins.
see.
We have tent
Okay.
sites,
All right.
places for RVs.
And they're probably at every site in America. You probably have the same kind of experience. You're going there for sort of a recreational
Absolutely.
activity. You get to like-minded
But they
people.
have
But I'm
potluck suppers
biased.
and dances.
I think we have closer relationships. I think because when you are there, you know, you're not covering yourself. You are your genuine person, and you're accepted for who you are.
Well, squirrels don't get dressed up. None of the other
Yeah.
critters put clothes on.
We came into the world as nudists.
We do. My children did. I saw all three of them enter, and
Great.
they were all
Me too.
quite naked. All right, well, listen, this is great stuff. And so what we're going to do right now, we're going to take a little break. And when we come back, I'd like to talk a little bit more about the Solair camp
Okay.
down the road here on Alpine Drive. And you say it's a premiere, right, Dick? It's a really good
Premiere.
one. Some of the specifics, you can tell
Okay.
me about that. I'd probably not talk about the members because we're going to respect,
No, we don't.
We do not talk about the
and also, I mean, you tell me that there are certain economic benefits, and most people probably wouldn't consider any kind of economic benefits. But to a town like Soppers, Dick, as you know, I mean, any
That's
economic
why I'm excited
benefit
to talk about that.
is a benefit we need to know about.
Right.
So we're gonna cut to the chase. We'll take a moment, and we'll be right back to talk about Solair and about the economic benefits with our guests, Dick Whitney and Ronna Krozy, and the AANR right here on Sawbridge Community Television. Hi everyone, welcome back to Sawbridge Community Television. I'm Max Gullekson. I'm here with Dick Whitney and Ronna Krozy. Thanks for sticking around, folks.
Pleasure, thank you.
So far, very interesting discussion about a subject that not too many people know about, which is nudist recreation, and we've learned quite a bit. Now, one thing that we haven't talked about, right down the road here, right here in Sawbridge, right down the end of Alpine Drive, is a very prestigious and well-known nudist resort.
Correct.
The Solair, I guess, is
Yes,
the name of it?
yes.
Ronna, what can you tell me about Solair and what makes it so special? I mean, we're right here in Southbridge.
It's
Woodstock, actually.
Woodstock,
It's
okay, on the border of
It's
Southbridge.
right
On the border.
on the
Yeah.
border.
Yeah.
Well, it's my happy place, I must tell you that. Solair has been, it's actually Solair Recreation League, and it's a family nudist resort. We have been around for over 80 years, so it's been there a very long time. There are 360 acres of woods. It's a really,
Wow, it's a big place.
it's a very big place. It's beautiful. We have a clubhouse with that stays open all year round. It is seasonal, so we close at the end of October and we open mid-April.
And so the weather kind of dictates
The
when you're
weather
open.
definitely
Sure.
dictates, as opposed to parts of the country that are warm. And we have over 400 members,
Right up here.
and we have probably about 16 or 17 couples and about 4 or 5 singles who live at Solair the entire summer,
Oh, I see.
and they're snowbirds. So
Are they caretakers?
No. Are you asking if there are?
I mean, are they part of the Solair staff? They stay there to help care? They just
Oh, no,
stay
no.
there?
No, Solair is member-owned. It is a member-owned organization, so we take great pride and great care, and a great deal of the work that's done there is done by members. It's done by volunteers. So
I see.
we have that volunteer spirit there.
Oh, sure.
And I don't know what else you...
About Solair, what about activity? I mean, volleyball maybe? Or?
We have volleyball, we have pickleball, tennis, we have an Olympic-sized pool that's heated by the sun, which is very economical.
Sure.
We have bocce. We have all kinds of sports.
Yeah,
You're not
Canoeing,
just going
too.
there sitting
Canoeing
around nude. You've got stuff to
and-
do.
And a big outdoor pavilion.
Again, it's not
Right.
nudism for nudism's sake. It's just the state you happen
It's
to
a
be in while you're
community.
having all your fun playing bocce.
Right. It's like a big family, really.
Is it? Yeah.
And we have
I
lots
guess
of kids. We
Inhibitions
have,
probably melt away a little bit.
well,
I remember my first visit, a woman was showing me around, and I said, what do you do when it gets cold? Well, you put on clothes. I mean,
Yeah.
the option is you don't have to wear them, and actually you're discouraged from wearing them in the pool. You can't in the pool.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Is that where you got started, Dick? When you started, was it right up here at Solair, or?
my first visit was there, and then my wife, who worked locally at the time, ironically said, well, I don't know, I work at the hospital, I'm not sure. So we joined Sun Chasers Travel Club, which is non-landed. and we got heavily involved with that, and then introduced my parents. They found Solair, went to it and joined, and then we joined.
And then they pulled you in, and
Right.
it became the family fair that you talked about earlier.
Right.
And what, 10 miles from here?
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah. I've heard. I mean, like I said, I've heard of it, but I mean, most people know it's there. Most people don't really give it much thought at
They
all.
joke
I mean,
about
it's
it.
not like they're not sitting here
Right.
thinking those dirty nudists.
I remember there used to be
Like,
a-
Oh,
I
no,
don't
no,
know my
no, no,
word.
no,
In
my
Woodstock,
goodness.
there was
And
once
that's
a
the
sign
problem.
that said
Yeah.
caution nudist crossing. I always thought it was there,
word.
but it's nowhere near where that sign was.
Is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe somebody's.
It was a
What
joke.
about Dick? What about? And we've talked about the social aspects of it, and people seem to enjoy it. And you say it makes people communicate better. Kind of makes it like
Absolutely.
you get to know somebody, and make friends that way. How about, and especially in Southbridge, what about any kind of economic benefit for the local community? Is there any benefit
Well,
to having a resort?
This is one of the reasons when Mike had first broadcast that, I'm thinking, people, including him, probably don't realize the benefit. It's significant. When I joke, but when I see people around, we never say who, other than say hello, it's a friend. They're at the gas stations, they're at the restaurants, they're at the banks, they're at the library, they're, all over the place. The Big Bunny Market, or where, there is significant benefit, which Ronna can talk about. You bring tourists to the area from New York, from New Hampshire,
Right.
from Maine.
I see. So they'll
from
come to
all over the
Solair,
place, from
and then they're going
California.
to spend their money, and they're filled
They
with tent
stay,
here.
they come here,
Yeah.
and, yes, we want new business, but also we should encourage businesses out here. And one of the overlooked businesses is Solair.
Right.
Because nobody wants to admit it or talk about it, but it's a great benefit.
This is not illegal.
It's not only not
gosh,
illegal, it's
no.
great. But even, the carpenters are people occasionally, if you need something, they're brought up to camp. So
Right.
people have business brought to camp. It brings a lot of money to town and the region.
Sure.
And you could talk more about the national and international
Well,
benefits,
sure.
but tourism is significant, and people don't know.
Well, even in
It's an
Woodstock.
underground tourism almost.
It's significant.
Yeah.
That
really.
nobody really.
Yeah.
Well, you
And
know
it's
about it,
year round. I
obviously.
mean,
Yeah.
Woods-
I mean, not year round here, obviously.
Right,
but
right.
no,
like
but I mean, she will come back, and others will be here.
Oh, we're here for the holidays. They
Yeah.
have once a month. They will have a dance, a dinner to
throughout
get
the winter.
Yeah.
throughout the winter.
Oh,
Here, our
neat.
clubhouse stays open
Oh, sure.
all year round.
Oh, okay.
We have a hot tub. We have showers. We have bathrooms.
So
and
you could just curtail your activities a little bit.
Absolutely.
You're not doing the outdoor stuff.
And I
No,
think they
it's-
supported all the local restaurants. I can
Well,
tell
Well, I
you.
oh,
hope so too.
absolutely.
Right? I'm sure they
That's-
hope so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, in the cooler weather, taking a walk through our woods, we have many, many hiking trails. It's,
Oh,
it's
wonderful.
beautiful. We have a pond there that when it's autumn, you can see the leaves turning colors, and it's all reflected on the water, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place.
It's outdoors and it's in the woods and
It's
probably
beautiful.
secluded.
It's,
Yeah, terrific.
Unbelievable.
It is gated.
Yeah, and it brings money in, and nobody's getting hurt, and it's a family environment. And if you left the word nude out of it, it would just sound almost like a church group, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, the only rub or objection anybody might, just that. So you have to think of it like, just take that out of it. No, these are
But I will tell
group
you-
of people, and the answer is yes.
I'm
I mean,
glad you said that, because if I describe to people, if you took a cross-section of people in church, that's what you have there. In age group, in diversity, in whatever,
Yeah.
actually perhaps somewhat more diverse, but it's a cross-section of every type, as you said.
Yes, it's a microcosm
yeah,
of society.
you're
It's
born
great.
naked. You said that. I mean, it's a natural state.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
All right. Anything else? Any thoughts you have,
Well,
Ronna, about?
You were talking about economics. Now,
Yeah.
granted, I have some statistics here
Mm-hmm,
for Florida. Now, granted, Florida is a warm
For a
state,
year-round kind of. Yeah.
which I wish we were there right now. It's pretty cold out.
Yeah, it's cold here
but
today, isn't it, right?
what's of particular interest is that it constitutes nudism, 5 to 7% of their tourism.
Wow.
It has impact on their rural areas, and it brings in $7.4 billion in annual total economic impact
That's a lot of money.
for the state of Florida.
Wowee.
So it has the greatest number of nudist resorts.
Florida's the top
Oh, yeah.
cream of the crop for
yes,
income.
yes, it is.
But there's a income wherever you're at, and they're probably in every
Absolutely.
state then, are they pretty much?
absolutely every
state's
state.
represented?
Every state.
Alaska, the season must be a little shorter. Hey,
Well,
but
they're
nonetheless.
Indoor
People-
house parties.
Indoor
Indoor
activities.
house
Yeah, the
parties.
outdoor activities must be.
right.
All right, good stuff. And interesting things to know. And you know, I don't know. I feel bad in a way that an attempt was made to demonize it, and I'm glad you came on.
Well, I'm thankful. We should mention the website, Anna,
Yeah.
but also Solair.
Yeah. So anybody who's interested in the local Solair, they have a website.
Yes, it is SolairRL.com. RL for Recreation League.
Okay, terrific.
So, and
And,
Anna is AANR.com.
And Facebook too, probably.
We have Facebook. Anna has a Facebook page, so does Solair.
So there you go, folks. Anybody who wants more information or just wants to know more, is curious, those are some websites that you can look at, and you can learn more. You've learned already from Ronna and Dick here in our studio today. Thanks for coming on.
May
I
I
really
make one
appreciate.
last
Oh,
statement?
sure. Yes, you may.
So some years ago, I developed a motto for our camp, and I think it tells it like it is: come for a visit, stay for a lifetime.
And you find that to be the truth,
And
right?
we find it to be the
A lot of people drift in and they
It's
like
a
it so
perfect
much,
motto, yeah.
they just
Yes,
stay.
yes, yes.
Well, that's good. I mean, what could sell it more than the actual site itself? That's wonderful. All right, thanks again. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for watching, everyone, in Southbridge, and we'll see you next time on Southbridge Community Television.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Adam.
guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate you
Pleasure.
coming on
Thank
board.
you.
Thanks, Dick. Thanks for
Take
coming.
care.